Welcome to the Book Boyfriend podcast, where we dish on everything from the alpha male to the sensitive soul. If you found yourself lusting after a fictional character, you've come to the right place. Here's your hosts, Faith Andrews, Elizabeth Grace, Livia Jammerland, and B.A. Wolf.
Hi, everybody. I'm Elizabeth Grace. Welcome to Book Boyfriend Podcast, Episode 8. And today we are discussing The Master by Kresley Cole. So first, before we even start, I want to say a big thank you to everybody because our subscribership on YouTube and iTunes is growing. And so we love that you guys are starting to subscribe to us and follow us. It means so much. So a big thank you to everybody who's done that. Now, let's go through everybody quickly and talk about what everybody's doing. Livia, what are you working on right now?
Hi everyone, it's Liv here, and I am so glad to say Contingent is done. It is with the formatter, and it will be releasing April 29th. So I'm excited that one's finally out, or it's coming out, and I've decided that we're going to take a little spin, and we're writing Gus's story. So be prepared. I'm writing my first male-on-male book. What about you, Faith? What are you working with?
Hey guys, I am getting ready to release my novella, the prequel novella to Feel Again, First Came You, and I'm getting some exciting feedback on it. I created tears for people, so I'm excited that I got all the feels out of everybody. Does that make me a bitch? I'm making people cry. Yay!
B.A. Wolf does it all the time.
So I'm excited about that. Other than that, I am like struggling to pull words out of Noah's head. Everybody's dying for Noah's story, and it's kind of killing me, but it will get there, and I'm going to make it a mission to get it out there this year. So that's my promise. What about you, Babs? What are you working on these days?
Nada. No, I'm just kidding. Really, I promise you, I'm working very hard. Hopefully soon I will be done with this book that I'm working on. It is going to be the death of me, but I will get it out to you, and it is going to be amazing. So as soon as it's done and my CP okays it and my beta is okay, I will give you more details. So stay tuned, and I will make sure everyone gets the word of announcement. Elle?
Oh, okay. What am I working on? I have Indecision, which comes out on May 1st, and that's in Brenda Novak's diabetes fundraising box set. And I'm working on a super secret project, which I can't tell you about right now, but I've been harassing these girls with for 6 months. So I'm finally writing it. So that's all I'm up to. So, okay, The Master. First of all, I need to give y'all, as Babs would say, a warning, because this will definitely not be a PG episode. Okay, because Maxim in this book, The Master, will make you want to do dirty things. And he's the king of dirty talk, and there's no way we can get around being PG. It's just not happening. So if you have little ones in earshot, you're going to want to scurry them away or bookmark this. NC-17, yes. You're going to want to bookmark this and watch it later. So let's go through the blurb of The Master. So it starts out with, everyone fears the master except her. If pleasure is a game, play to win. A need colder than a Siberian winter meets an attitude hotter than the Florida sun in #1 New York Times best-selling author Kresley Cole's sultry new Game Maker novel. Sidebar, squirrel. This is book 2 in a series. You do not have to read book 1 to follow the story. I'm the only one of the 4 of us that had read book 1, and everybody seemed to follow it fine, right, girls?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so rich, irresistible politician, mafia boss Maximilian Sebastian prefers tall, obedient blondes to fulfill his complicated desires. That is, until the icy Russian encounters a disobedient brunette whose exquisite little body threatens his legendary restraint. Katerina Marin was well-off wife until her world fell apart. Now she's hiding out, forced to start working as an escort in Miami. Her very first client is beyond gorgeous, but when he tells her what he plans to do to her, Kat almost walks out the door. After their mind-blowing encounter burns out of control, the lovers crave more. If they escape the deadly threats surrounding them, can Maxim overcome his past? Yeah, to offer Kat his future. Only then will she tempt him with what he really wants, her all tied up with a bow. So the setup to this story, I'll go through it briefly with you. So Maxim is a Russian politician who's near the end of his term, but he also has ties to various Russian mafia. And Kat is a girl on the run from her ex-husband. When the book starts out, we don't know why she's running, but we just know that she's deathly afraid of her ex finding her. Now she's going to school and she's cleaning houses to support herself. And while she's cleaning houses, she makes friends with an escort who tells her all about her business. And that's sort of where we pick up the story from. I just want to say one thing that I loved, and I just want to ask you girls, the the hooker acronyms, the call girl acronyms.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yeah. So I listed them here so you guys would know what we're talking about. So at the beginning, she's just kind of going through like all these things her friend Ivana told her. And so there's the DDG, and that's the Drop Dead Gorgeous. Yep. There's the FOTC. So if you get lucky, you get an FOTC, which is the fuck of the century. There's the BBBJ, which is a bareback blowjob, which is like a tongue twister. Ah!
No pun intended.
Yeah. And she says, swallowing was a BBBJNQNS, bareback blowjob, no quit, no spit. And an MSOG is multiple shots on goal. So the client can come as many times as he like within a specific time limit. Anyway, so that was the start of the book. And I was like, this is going to be fun. So Babs, why don't you tell us about when Maxim and Kat meet for the first time?
Okay, so this was very different from most books. Most books give you a slow build. You're not really dropped into the action. In The Master, we're literally dropped into the action. So we meet Kat as she approaches a pair of mahogany doors leading to this luxurious penthouse suite. So she's explained to us that she's about to have sex for money. She panics. She calls the hookup, Ivana, who had a bad reaction to the Botox and had to cancel, which is a no-no. So alas, we have scared Kat, who's on her first call as an escort about to meet her first ever client. All right, enter the DDG hot Russian client, Maxim, or as she and I call him, my Russo. Okay, that's that. So right away, he's displeased, okay? He's requested a tall, slender blonde. Instead, he got a curvy, luscious brunette. But he's not having it. So she acts like a pro and tells him it's his loss. So she walks away and dun, 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 he asks her to stay for a drink. # work that ass girl. Okay, there's that. So they're both now inside the penthouse having a drink, and they're about to negotiate rates. And that's where we meet these two. They literally right in the action. It was a good start. Like normally you have the slow buildup, and this one you're just like, hello, wham bam, thank you, ma'am. Mm-hmm.
So what did everybody think of Kat? And I want to know, did it bother you that she's going to sell her body for money? What about you, Liv?
Okay. So I bonded with Kat because I'm the Latin one in the group, and hence he's my Rousseau. Fuck you all. The second you turn the page and it says, my mother would be turning in her grave. And I'm like, I'm going to love this book because I have, my parents are immigrants to this country. I'm an immigrant to this country. I wasn't born here. So all of her cultural background is kind of like my background, so I felt like I was reading. So she was me. So yes, I would sell my body for money because he's a DDJ. Drop dead, motherfucking gorgeous. I would do him in a freaking heartbeat. So when we first meet Kat, she's like panic and she's nervous, but she's playing it cool, like Barb said. And I'm okay with her selling her, because you kind of have the flashback of her husband, of what he's doing to her, or like why she's on the run. She never stays in a city for more than 6 months. For the past 3 years, she's always been running. She's struggling and she's trying to get out of town quick. So I loved her, and I loved her fiery attitude. It was just throughout the whole entire book, even though she was like falling for the Russian or whatever, she always had this quick little attitude. And actually, I have a quote from the second time they meet, and she's like getting ready to like leave town, and he calls her up, and he says, she's like, I can't be there until 9, and I can't stay very long. Not that this is a problem with you. I laughed. A nanosecond after you nut, you'll be wondering what I'm still doing there. I'll start reaching for my clothes as soon as your balls tighten. It'll be like a fire drill. Like that was like kind of her comments throughout the whole entire book. So I loved her, and the fact that she sold her body did not bother me at all. What about you, Faith? What did you think?
Okay, first and foremost, I hope I'm not stealing this from Babs, but totally pictured Liv the whole time I read this.
Yes,
Like, the whole time
bitches,
I'm like,
he's
Out of my head lived. Oh, it's supposed to be little blonde Barb.
I told you, he's my Russo.
every
Mine.
time she moves, I'm like, that's Liv. That's Liv.
You could literally hear her say those snarky remarks too.
And I pictured her. I don't even think you speak Spanish, Liv. You speak don't you speak something else?
I'm Brazilian, so I speak Portuguese, but
Portuguese.
but I do speak Spanish.
Okay, so I just every time she would speak Spanish, and which was often, I pictured you. So
Awkward a little bit, right?
Yeah, it's like, oh, I saw my sister having sex, but okay.
Oh, really? I was loving it the whole time because I kept picturing myself, and I was like, yay!
But I loved Kat. I adored her. I loved the first chapter was freaking hilarious and genius. I loved all those little anagrams and whatever, and I loved her anxiety before she walked in. I liked how I think the girl, her friend, what did she say to her? She said, what was the check that she told her? Like, it was just funny, like a reality check or whatever. The first, when you get nervous, think, would you screw him for free?
Yeah.
So I love that whole idea. I love the whole concept of it. I did think it was a little like, couldn't she have found another way to make money? But when you find out, first of all, then she would have never met Max. So, okay, screw
And you have
that.
to also think about that she was running off with no papers. She couldn't have any kind of identity. So for her to actually get a kind of a real legit job was kind of hard.
Right.
Sorry.
So it was like she was in her, this is what she had to do. But once you do find out like what the reasoning is behind everything, my heart broke for her. Like I felt for her. So on top of thinking she's quirky, funny, awesome, pretty, whatever, I had feelings, like I felt bad for her. So awesome all around character. What about you, Babs?
Loved her. I mean, because we love Liv. But no, I pictured you, but I loved that she wasn't the broken character. She didn't have anything. She was broken, but she was trying. She had a plan until Maxim came along and ruined that plan. But she had one. She was self-sufficient. She did what she had to do. Yeah, she had pots spread throughout her apartment catching water because there was holes in her roof. She had a sleazeball landlord, but she was making the best of it. So I loved her initially. As far as her selling her body for money, this escort service seemed a little bit more high class. Am I right? So yeah, totally for it. Like, why not? And it did though. It seemed high class. Like he was expecting, they had major payment negotiations. Hell, if she could make that kind of money and he was gorgeous and she'd do him for free, why not? I'm not here to judge. What about you, Al?
Yeah, I was the same as all you girls. I was like, I'd bang him for free. So who cares if you're getting like 10 grand or whatever to do it? Bonus. So I had no problem with that. And she was doing it. It was like a one-time thing. She was very clear about that up front. It was a one-time thing to get the money to leave town. And then like she was never going to do this again. And it was like a survival thing for her, really. So no, I didn't have any issues with it. Now, let's turn to our Russo, Maxim. And I'll start out telling you what I thought about Maxim because I'm not get it twisted, Liv. You might be the fiery Latin, but Maxim is mine because I discovered him of the four of us.
You fit his typical. You don't have blonde hair at the moment, but you were blonde most of your life. You're nice, a white girl. You could be Russian. So listen, I gave you Archer. I gave you everybody else. He's mine.
No, so he's mine. I loved Maxim. I loved how alpha he was, and he made no apologies for what he said or what he thought. He takes control. Didn't care if you liked that or not. He was doing what he wanted to do. His dirty mouth was total turn on. Like even if you're like not into that, he will make you want to do dirty things. Let me tell you, if you read this, you will think right now, don't judge us during this podcast. Okay? Don't. Because you're going to look and think these girls are off the rocker. Unless you have read this book, you cannot judge us. So I loved Maxim. And I'm just going to do a quick little quote about how she described him physically when she first saw him. So she says, he looked to be in his mid-30s with a head full of thick black hair and a built body. He was well over 6 feet tall. His blue eyes were hooded and penetrating gaze roaming all over me. He wore a lightweight cashmere sweater, winter white, that molded over his rigid pecs. The color made the piercing blue of his eyes pop. dark tailored slacks, highlighted muscular legs, and lean hips. Okay,
Yeah.
so like pretty much if you can like sum up like my ideal physically guy, that's basically what it is, which you'll see when we get to the erection selection. So I was like all about it, like right off the bat. How about you, Babs? What did you think of Maxim?
Well, I love my man, so I mean, there's nothing that I could really say bad about him. The thing that I loved most about him, he surprised me. He wasn't ever just a dick. Like, he wasn't just always rude. He would spark off with something nice, something unexpected. I mean, it was like their second date, and they're getting ready to get it on, and her stomach growled, and he's like, "You're hungry. Let's go feed you." And so, I mean, but it's just, he surprised me. He was just something different. And then I loved that she changed him, like little bits, but yet she was still herself and he was still himself. They just grew together as this raunchy, awesome couple. So, I mean, I love him. Like, I can't even, he's too perfect. What about you, Faith?
All right, so I'm that girl that watches this and says you're off your rocker because I'm not the usual erotic reader. I mean, like, don't get me wrong, I freaking love it, but it's not my usual cup of tea. So that being said, I read these books and I fly through them because it's so fucking good. It's like you're like, really? Like, and it's eye-opening because, I mean, most of us we're all married, right? And I've been with the same guy for 21 years. So you read this stuff and you're like, this shit goes on. Like, so for me, it's a total eye-opener. But what did I love about Maxim? Like, it took me, I'm not going to say I fell right away because I'm not that erotic girl, but I loved his fucking dirty mouth. Loved it. Let's go there. Love that. And I loved how he was absolutely insatiable for her. Like, it seemed like he could not get enough, like just couldn't get enough. And yes, he was mysterious. Yes, he had that asshole thing going for him, but you could tell instantly that he had this thing for Kat. Like, there was something about her, even walking in as an escort, that even the things that he was saying to her, like, you could tell that you knew he was going to fall for her. So
it was her ass.
Yeah.
He shook it right.
Yeah. That ass, you're right. So, I definitely, he does it for me. Liv, what about you? Let's hear. I can't wait to hear this.
Okay, so I agree with all of you ladies, and let's just say this. Every time we do a Book Boyfriend podcast book where we all pick a book, usually some of us extremely love it, and the other ones, yeah, we like it. We will definitely discuss it. He's definitely book boyfriend material, but it's very rare. I think this is the first time, aside from 50, but that's just because it's 50, where the four of us are like, oh my fucking God. Like, to the point, I'm going to let you guys in on a little secret. There were PMs of just going around of this and a little bit of this to each other because we were fighting over Max. Like, we're all, like Faith said, we're all grown women, happily married, fighting over a fictional character. That's how amazing Max was. He was, like Jess said, Faith said, the dirty mouth, the caring, Barb said, was amazing. Just the way he carried himself, the physique Elizabeth mentioned, he was perfect all the way around. Like, I wanted him from the second she said, would I do him for free? Fuck yes was my answer. And I was like, this is the book for me. It's me. So I loved it. And I mean, I could not get enough. Like, I remember I'm thinking here, like, oh, I have so many things to do. I literally took my 6-month-old baby. I turned to my husband. I said, honey, can you please take him so you can get lucky tonight? Here you go. I'm like, and that's what I did. I sat in bed all weekend, and I'm like, I can't put it down. And when I did finally finish, I PM'd every single person I met. I know. And I was like, you need to buy this book. You need to read it. You need to buy this book. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to give you a little taste of how great Maxim was. There's a point in the book where she is staying with him. I guess we'll get into that later. But he has her kind of captive. And she's like a dog in heat, as I would be when I would be with him. I would be like a freaking dog in heat. She was practically humping pillows, and I was right there with her. And so he's sleeping, and she kind of, so the way he's sleeping, she can kind of see his junk from trying to, like, not say bad words if your kids are around. I'm really sorry. So his dick is just kind of like there. So his dick hardens until he's turned over, she's saying. And he turns to her and he says, I can't tell which of your personalities I like better. The fiery cat who comes out claws bared, or my sweet Katya, who steals between my legs so she can lap at my cock for a treat. And I'm like, gosh, I love this man. He's just, he likes both sides of her, and I'm just like, that was me. Like the little poor dog in Heat. I'm sorry.
Wait, can we touch on the base that he's like this mighty, powerful man too? That the mafia, hello, sexy,
right?
Like
I
that.
mean, he just had it all. Like I'm hot now. I feel like I'm starting to sweat thinking about this guy again. Sorry.
And he's like a billionaire, right? Because remember they're joking around, and the markets were bad that day, and she's like, I don't think you're quite a billionaire today.
Yeah, and I mean, not only that, she was super smart. Like she was great. I know we've already discussed her, but this was honestly a really great book.
She was his match, his perfect match. She wasn't weak and helpless. She complimented him, and and we shouldn't call his member a cock. We should call it a masterpiece.
Oh,
Love it.
Hashtag masterpiece.
Masterpiece.
Capital MASTER.
Okay, so let's talk about dirty talking lines.
Oh boy.
I've thrown this in. I'm running the show, and I want to hear everybody's favorite dirty talking, either line or banter from either Kat or from Maxim. And Liv, you're up first. I don't know if that was yours.
No, it wasn't.
Okay. So what was
She's like, let me just read you the whole book, please.
Her whole book is yellow. The whole thing is highlighted.
Highlight. Actually, Faith, would you mind going first? I have to find it in my Kindle. As you see, look, I have things highlighted here.
Okay. I have a couple, so bear with me here. I loved, this isn't exactly dirty, but I loved when Kat described his happy trail. I thought the way she said it was different. It was cute. She said he had sculpted washboard abs and tantalizing goodie trail that I wanted to nuzzle. I loved how she called it a goodie trail. And I think that, what was another, when it was after their first night together, and so now he calls on her for the second time, and it's a little bit, it's kind of dirty mixed with swoony, and she says to him, you took your cock away from her. I just thought, like, wow, dirty, but so swoony. And then Maxim, okay, like, how the frig do you choose one? I mean, that guy, like, I don't know, he could read the phone book dirty, I think. I liked when he told her, tell me I fuck you better than any man before. That was like, holy shit. Oh God. And I'm like blushing thinking about this one.
I can see you blushing.
Like, woo! He says, again, it's like dirty, but it's also very swoony. He says, I'm going to empty my cum in you, fill you in every way. Like, he just like, shut up. Don't let him be saying this shit. Because the house is completely silent.
What's so funny is this is normally me. I'm normally the one blushing.
Okay, but wait, I'm not done, because my absolute favorite line from Maxim doesn't even have a dirty word in it. It was when, we'll talk again, like you said, we'll mention this later, that she winds up imprisoned by him, basically. She's his sex slave. And he puts her in the chastity belt, and he wears this key around his neck, and he comes home after meeting, he tells her he's in meetings all day, and she notices that he's holding the key around his neck. And so she tells him at one point, how many times did you touch the key today? And he totally disregards her. They screw their brains out. They climax after climax after climax. And the end of that chapter, he says, I touch that key constantly. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah,
I think I remember. Yeah, I was PMing you girls. I was like, wow, one line summed up the whole book. I loved it. Elle, how about you on the dirty talk?
Okay, this was a hard one. So I have a little
Done.
yeah, pun totally intended. So I have a little okay, so this is the section. It's more than one line. It's just like a little section here. So I think this is the second time that they're getting together. And so Maxim says to Katya, he says, then I want my cock covered in your wetness. I want to stir myself in it. I'm like, oh my God, that's so dirty and gross, but still somewhat so like hot. I don't know. Okay. And then she says, only then did he draw his hips back, giving me a measured thrust. The pleasure was so intense. My breath caught in my throat. Another withdrawal and pump made me moan low. He alternately shoved his hips, then languidly stirred them. Stirred. He took my mouth, delving his tongue in time with his cock. My legs had eased down, my calves resting over his rock-hard ass. I could feel his taut muscles moving as he worked my body. His determined thrusts were sending me closer to orgasm. Harder, Quiero. Clutching my ass with splayed fingers, he wrenched me up and down with more and more force until my teeth were clattered with each landing. I bucked into him, spurring him with my heels. He went wild, surging up inside me. Come on me, Katya. His face was an agonized mass, his body racked for release. I've waited 2 days for you to milk my cum again. Like,
Hello.
Yeah, hello is great. So yeah, that was my favorite little section. What about you, Babs?
Well, you put a little sentence from that, and that was my dirty line, but I didn't come unprepared. It's a dirty, funny line, and Liv is going to laugh. So let's prepare ourselves. I quirked my brows. Don't hold back on my account. I've been riding you like Seabiscuit at least twice a day for over a week.
Yes. I highlighted that too.
I mean, okay, the line speaks for itself. Like, they had raunchy, they had dirty, and that's my backup. So enjoy. Okay, Liv.
This is by far
On that
my
note,
most favorite
go
podcast
see this
ever.
thing
I will
go.
just let you know, Miss Faith Andrews is reading and blushing. The wonderful B.A. Wolf is talking about writing like Seabiscuit. Have you read Away and Stay? She doesn't write this stuff, people. This is me and Elle here. So, all right. So my part is, it's their first time together, and he wants to like tie her up and be her, like whip her, and then fuck her from behind. It's kind of like his like script, like it's what he likes to do. So she decides to give him like a dance, and she's like stripping in front of him. It's super sexy. And she's like grinding on him, and she's like getting really aroused because, you know, she hasn't had sex in 3 years since her husband. And she's getting really aroused, and she's like, crap, like this was supposed to be for him, but I'm really getting turned on. And he graded, and so this is the quote. He graded Bayad, whatever that meant. Same thing I said, whatever that meant. You're truly wet for me. Very wet. You've been using me to get off? He questioned. Por Dios, why are you talking so much? I said between breaths. You want to come, Russo? He blinked at me. The cool, detached Russian look stunned me. Then by all means, he released his grip. Continued. Gracias. Like, it was just like the way they had, like, I mean, that wasn't my only one because the key was really important to me. The one where there's just so many in this book, I couldn't pick one, but because I couldn't find the exact one I was looking for, that's what we're going with. She was wet for just riding him, and they just got off on each other. It was amazing. So, Elle?
I wanted to mention that in the whole thing with when we were talking about her and what we thought about her, because I thought that was just awesome that she like got off because you know, like the reads, like when she's talking in the beginning about becoming an escort, like first things first, you never worry about your own pleasure. It was
you don't kiss your clients, and she's just like making out with him.
Well, then when she asked him to, whoa, hold up, you're too big. Let me get used to you. It's like, you really want to enjoy this fuck, I think is what he said.
Yeah, he did.
I was like, well, yeah, why wouldn't I?
So let's talk about maybe the more sensitive side for some of you, but I want to know, when is the moment that you fell in love with Maxon? So Faith, we're going to start with you.
I'm going with 2 words here. Red scarf. I don't want to give anything away because I don't want, like, finding out their backstories was like so good in this book because you get little dribs and drabs, and you really don't get, I mean, you get more Cat in the beginning, but you don't get so much of Max until like the end. But she tells him this whole story about her childhood and blah, blah, blah. And at one point he winds up getting this red scarf for her, and you realize that, you know, he cares for her. It's not just, she's not just this receptacle that she kept calling herself, a receptacle for you to get over and, you know, to spill yourself in and throw away when you're done. No, a man does not do that and think about something that meant something to someone and not feel something. So that is the moment I fell in love with Max. Yeah. What about you, Elle?
For me, this was the first time that they were together, they, did whatever. And then he was very cold immediately right after and detached and went and had a shower and came back out and was like, "You're still here? Like, what are you doing here?" So she's very hurt by that just because she felt very hookerish, dismissed.
Used.
So the second time they do it, he ends up spending the night like in her bed, not in his bed, but in her room in the suite. And so she says, I crawled back under the covers with him. In sleep, he wrapped his arm under me, covering both of my breasts as he pulled me close. When he held me like this, my will dissolved, my worries, my blood-coated memories. Sometime later, I woke up again to his husky words in my ear. I now understand the appeal of waking to a lover. With a long exhalation, he slid inside me. So when he said that, I was like, oh my God. Like, I don't know. It was just so sweet because he's very clear about there's like boundaries. You're a hooker. You come, I come, we go. Like, that was it. And so this was like, for me, like where he started to acknowledge that it was meaning more to him. So what about you, Babs?
So again, it was their second night together and he demands to see her. She comes over and it's when her stomach, okay, I have a big thing with food, I guess. Clearly I like to be fed. You feed me, I will love you. But it was that night and, he takes her to get food. So right there, I'm like, what a man. Like he's, not taking his own needs and making sure she's satisfied. But then it's when he says, I'm going to pretend that you aren't like this with your other clients, that I alone make you feel this way. And I was just like, bam, sold, done. Where do I sign? What about you, Liv?
I found my other dirty quotes because I really wanted them. And I'm like, I need to find you. And I couldn't because I was waiting. So my favorite dirty talking line, I'm going backwards. And the girls mention all the good stuff about Maxim. He's sweet. He gets her a red scarf. He had the key around his neck. He wants to feed her and take care of her and kind of protect her. Imagine in his head that he is her only client. But, he keeps telling himself that. I fell in love with his mouth. Both ways. They were all over her when it was all over her and the way he spoke to her. So I'm going with the dirty. The moment I saw your pouty nipples, I feared I couldn't let you go until I sucked them. That was one of my favorites.
I'm here over talking about food.
I like eating other things, Barb. Okay, so another one was, do you need me inside of you, Katya? His voice was so low and husky it made me tremble. Spread your legs. When I did, he stared at my pussy. This is mine now. He met my gaze, telling me I own it, just as I own you. I'm your master now, Katya. Bang. I was done. Done. That's when I was boing worthy. Swing.
End scene.
Yes, that was when I was. That was the moment I fell in love with him, when he started talking dirty. So that was like at page 2. So yes, that's when I fell in love with Maxim. What about you, Elle?
Oh. Okay, I already did mine, but now I want to talk about swoon-worthy moments. So what your favorites? What part did you swoon the most over, Max? So for me, Faith already mentioned it, but it was actually the red scarf. Katya had told the story of her childhood that was a real pivot point for her in her childhood with her mom, and a red scarf comes into play, and he gives her the scarf. And then I also loved later on, I don't want to give too much away, but later on in the book, he mentions the red scarf again and says, if I had known at 13, that I wish I had known at 13 that there was how old would she have been?
7, yeah.
7 or something like that. Yeah.
7 or 6, a 7-year-old little girl fighting for her pride over a red scarf. And then he goes on, and I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I don't know. That just, for me, the whole red scarf thing, like all the way through, was my swoon-worthy stuff. What about you, Liv?
I had a really big thing with the key. I have a couple that I couldn't pick just one. Mm-hmm. So he ties a chastity belt on her, and she thinks, well, I'm going to tie it to you because he's going to know I'm wearing it all day. Like, they were kind of mind-fucking each other the whole time, which was so great because she wasn't like this, woe is me, I'm such a weak little heroine, please save me, big master. She was like feisty, and she was like economic. She did the, what does she call it? I can't think of it now. It's like the pros. It was kind of like the pros and cons. Yes.
Risk reward.
So
reward, yeah.
The risk of her, yeah, like the risk of wearing it and the reward of wearing it or whatever. So she has this chastity belt on, and he has the key, and she's like pretty much like trying to like get off on wearing this chastity belt, like rubbing herself all over the place. And then he has a key, and he keeps, like Faith had mentioned earlier, he kept touching the key, and he told her, I kept touching the key all fucking day. So that was swoon-worthy, number one. Then the red scarf, as Elizabeth just said, and Faith said earlier. And then later on in the book, they go to Nebraska, and he brings her riding on a horse. And it's like you could see how much she's just so happy. Like, there's so much joy in her life, and she sees snow for the first time. I mean, she's always lived on the southern part of the States, so she's never experienced snow, and she's like, it's snowing. Like, I can just imagine her being like, we have to go outside, like, it's snowing. And he takes her horse riding. It was just like that whole entire scene, and I don't want to give a lot away because that is nearing the end of the book. But yeah, I swooned over him with the little stuff as well. What about you, Babs?
Oh, okay, so 2 parts. I mean, the red scarf, yes, but got to go different here. So they're in Nebraska, and some men had just eyed her, and he gets really jealous because he's Maxim. He has every right to be jealous. And so she's like, well, I'm sure you're going to be pretty popular this weekend too. And he says, I'll smile at them, and you'll see how it's different from how I smile at you.
Yes.
Just see, bam, he's so sweet. Like, he can be this erotic, sexy, raunchy man, but have a heart of gold. Then it's when, so I don't want to give the end away, and I won't, but it's when they're deciding on what to do with their relationship. And she asks what her choices are. And he says, you know what I want from you. I bite my lip at the fierceness in his expression. You want everything? A slow nod, everything. And it was just like, yep, you got it. Done. There's that. But he has a way with these powerful words that mean, it's one word, but it meant the world. That's just how his tongue is. So, we get to talk about sex next. Hello.
Yeah, but I think, Faith, I don't think we did your
We didn't. No, we did not. Okay.
No, Liv is too
I'm
drunk.
sorry.
I'm too drunk, and
I wish I was. Okay, for me, I liked that when Maxim started to share his past a little bit, and it's like around Christmas time, and she's his prisoner or whatever, and she's like, it's Christmas Eve, and you're going to, this is how it's going to be, like, he's working or whatever, and you can tell, like, I think at one point he says he hates Christmas, like, he hates it. So Kat decides to make it Christmas, like, she cooks, and they spend some quality time together that day, and again, it's a Miami Christmas, so it's not like Christmas we're used to, these nice cold Christmases, but whatever, they spend it the best way they can. And after he ends up giving her a gift, and she asks him why, and at the end of, I think it was the end of that chapter again, he tells her, because this is the best Christmas I ever had. And I just was like, wow, like, he's this, once you really learn about his past, like, you'll really remember that, because when you really learn his past, he really has a fucked up past. So there's a reason for him to hate Christmas and to hate Christmas Eve, and for her to bring this out in him, this girl who's supposed to be an escort, like, she brought this out in him, and for him to be able to admit that, swoon. So yeah, I loved it. Yeah. Now we can go on to sex. Go ahead.
Okay. So
Sex,
let's
baby.
talk about favorite sex.
Air high five.
Let's talk about Okay, so Babs, I want to know what's your favorite sex scene or encounter, or like whatever, what your favorite in that type of topic thing was.
Okay, well, they're all hot, but hands down, it was the wall in the foyer. It's their second time, and it is so needy, so carnal. You can just, the heat between them, it's freaking palpable. Like, you could, oh my God, you get wet. I'm sorry, but you do. It was the hottest sex scene because she couldn't get him in her fast enough, and he couldn't get in her fast enough. And then they're both done. They're both heaving, gasping for breath, coming off their big O's. And he's like, yet again, I didn't make it to the bed. Yeah, it's just, they can't get each other enough. So hands down, I loved the foyer. Like, I read that scene twice.
And then acted it out. Yep.
There you go. So how about you, Faith?
All right. Okay, here we go. I'm talking about sex again. Great. Okay. I'm so gonna sound like a whore.
I know a scene.
But I don't care.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. That anal sex scene was sick. I was like sweating. Like I was like, whew. Thank God the kids were in school. No one was around. I wouldn't even let the dog be around. I was like, what? If that's what that's like, holy shit. Maybe we need to try some shit around here. So
Nope.
that was exciting. And that's all I'm saying. So Liv, go ahead.
Hashtag Amish.
Hashtag Amish over in Denver.
I'm so sorry. I am going to
No
break the
comment.
rule and say that every sex scene was perfect. Every sex scene was my favorite.
Yeah,
The first one, the
was.
second one, the third one, the eighth one. Every single one. You had sex in the pool. You had champagne dripping all over you. Like, I just imagine her, she has a bottle, and she's dripping champagne, and he's licking it all over her, and they're still screwing. Every sex scene. Like, usually you read these books, and it's like, oh, sex. Okay, we get it. You're having sex. No, every single sex scene was perfect.
Yeah.
And yes,
Because they were all different. They were all different.
And you know what? I don't know, maybe you guys will agree with me, but like her scenes are so erotic. Like it's not just like sex; they're seriously like really erotic. The way she she writes them. I don't know.
very, very erotic.
Yes.
And what I loved most out of all of them were the nipple clamps. So
No,
them-
that hurts.
like I said,
Hurt
don't knock
me.
it till you try it.
Amish.
Amish. But yes, the nipple clamps were, oh my God. Like, I mean, these two were she was running on the treadmill and he's like jerking off to her running. It was like mind-blowing sex every single time. And it wasn't, I mean, there is a story behind this book. Like, don't get me wrong. There is a very beautiful story behind this book. But every sex scene was just like, oh my God, I can't get enough. Like, to the point you literally will put your Kindle down and go take a cold shower, or bring your toy with you, or whatever the case may be. So, I took the toy. Meanwhile, in the meantime, what about you, Elle? What did you think?
Okay, so I agree. Every scene was great, like perfection. They were all a little bit different. And that's the best thing about this book, I think, is that it has that, but it also has like an amazing story that goes with it. So the two that stood out to me, like that were, when I think of the book that stood out the most, is the anal sex in the shower, because holy hell, like, wow. Okay, so enough said. And then the first time on the couch, I really liked that when she's just like got her underwear on still, and he's like dressed, and I think she has her bra off, and she's just like grinding on him, and she orgasms, and he's just like, I can just picture him like, leaning back on the couch, just watching her do this, and I'm just, I don't know. For me, that was like totally hot. I was like, wow. I was like, this is gonna be a great book. This is the first scene. They haven't even like penetrated each other yet. This is wonderful. So those were the two that stood out for me. So we're going to move into I Wish I Wrote That.
Did Babs go?
So besides, okay.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, she went first. Yeah.
I was the foyer.
Sorry,
Wham, bam,
she
she was
the
the
bottle
foyer.
bubbles out, that's why.
No worry. So I want to know what besides wanting to write the whole book, what was your I Wish I Wrote That, Babs?
Okay, so it's super heartfelt because that's where my heart lies. It is. His was on the right side of his chest. Mine was on my left. Whenever Maxim and I kissed, so did our scars.
Loved.
Yes.
It was just, it was one of those powerful moments. Like, that's just, wow. It was epic.
Yeah.
Like, highlighted right away. And then I was like, that's my quote. Like, if I could have wrote that, that would be one that I would wish I wrote. What about you, Elle?
Mine is like kind of funny for the type of book that we're reading, but when I read it, I have a thing for like,
it's gonna be the same as
funny.
I do, and I like how when people think of things differently, so like sayings and stuff. So mine was Kat was talking about a saying. I think it was her grandmother used to say, and because she was thinking about, should she try and upsell Maxim for something, or like what should she do? And the saying that her grandma used to tell her was, and I don't know if this is a real saying or if Kresley actually made this up, but it's pigs get fat, hogs get slaughtered.
Oh, yeah.
Say it again.
And
I'm sorry.
like,
Go.
Pigs get fat, hogs get slaughtered. And I was like, that is so brilliant. Like, it's such a short little sentence, but when you really think about it, I'm like, that is so true in like so many areas of life. And so I just really loved that one. So what about you, Faith?
I'm kind of on the same wavelength as you guys here. Like, as much as this book was so erotic and dirty and there's a million erotic lines you could pick from it, I wish I wrote that was any sex scene, because I like cringe and blush when I write like 4-letter C words, like I want to die. But my favorite line was when Kat said, sometimes monsters pretended to be gentlemen. I just, it like just brought back a lot of like demons, and like, it makes you, it was true. So I like how she put that, you know, like, it's like kind of like a wolves in sheep's clothing or whatever that phrase is. So that was it just struck a chord with me. I loved it. So what about you, Liv?
I wish I wrote that was actually at 3%. I have it on my Kindle here. And it's when she is talking to Yvonne, and it's her friend, and she's like, you know, I don't know if I should go through it, and I don't know if I should do it. She's kind of freaking out. And Ivana tells her, well, in one night I made $20,000. And then this is what Kat replies: money like that could catapult me directly into the next phase of my life plan. When I regained the power of speech, I sang, and we're off to fuck the wizard. That was like, I was like, oh my god, that's perfect. I'm like, and we're off to, like, I just kept picturing Dorothy.
Yes.
And we're off to fuck the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz.
Yes.
So that was I wish I wrote that.
Okay, so now it's time for one of my favorite parts of the night, which is the erection selection. It's known as casting, but we just like to say erection selection better, so that's what we go with now. So, Olivia, if you were casting Maxim, who
I really
would you
do hope
cast?
that my trusty bestie, B.A. Wolf, has her picture ready for me. So I'm going to delay some time while she searches it, because you saw the little finger go up. I picture Max to be a younger Gerard Butler. Kind of like...
Frick, I've got 3. Which
What? Oh, whichever
Which
one.
picture do
But I
you want?
picture
I've got
him
3.
as a young Gerard Butler, like pre-P.S. I Love You, and there he is. Like, tell me that is not... Yeah, that's
Oh,
my
nice. Yep. Bab, say something. Hold it up again and say something so you come up on my screen bigger.
This is my Russo. My Russo.
Yeah, nice. I love Gerard.
It's
Yeah,
babe.
That
he's
was
good.
my erection selection.
So gorgeous.
Because, you know, I am his Latin woman and he is my Russian man.
Something in my eye.
We're going to have another GIF war. I'm just saying.
Oh, God.
Oh, I got you something at Target, Liv.
Okay, Faith, what about you? Who is your erection selection?
Okay, I was originally, I don't know, sometimes I get stuck on a name. Like, if you hear the person's name, then you think of a person in real life who has that name, and you're like, I wonder. Especially because he's Russian. I'm like, so many, you know.
Maxim?
Yeah, Maxim Shmerkovsky from Dancing with the Stars. Yeah. I was like, that's him. Like, and I've seen him in person. I literally saw him walk past me in the city once, and I was like, oh, like I almost died.
Please hold on, I'm
Yeah.
Googling.
It was when he was dating the one who was dancing.
Please, oh.
What?
I was
Wow.
Googling, sorry. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, he's hot.
Whatever. You
So,
were
but he was my first pick. Yeah, but when I hear when I heard who you picked, Elle,
yeah,
I'm not going to give it away, but that's him. It's him. Yeah, sorry, it's him. Go ahead.
Okay. All right, so I picked, so if you're new around these parts, then perhaps you don't know that I am a Gandy girl, and I have a mild but healthy obsession with David Gandy. And so, don't even start with
You
me.
don't have to. We can't share with you.
Don't get it twisted.
You can't sit with us.
So, he is very often cast in the book boyfriend role for me in general, whether the guy's like blonde, red hair, doesn't matter. But this time he fit perfectly, like for actually how he was written. So here, if you don't know who David Gandy is, here is Maxim. I snapped this picture before we got on the private plane.
Was that to my wedding to him?
Yeah, no. And then I don't know what you're talking about, Babs. And then I got this picture of him on the couch. That was a long night together. And then there was this one time. This is when the first night together when he was making me a drink at the bar. Oh my God. So I'm gonna pee. And then, sometimes it's fun to play with food, right? So, we played a little. So he doesn't know I took that one. He'll kill me if he finds out. And then when we were at his brother's wedding and he was in the truck, oh my God.
Seriously, just hold that one up a little bit longer. Oh my God.
Die for. Like, I'm sorry. Let's check this man out. Oh. And then I couldn't resist. He had, he's rich, so he has like the people come to us when we're looking for clothes. And so one time the lady was helping him and I couldn't resist getting a shot of this ass because seriously, it is like perfection. And I'm not an ass girl, but this is perfection. So, and then finally, not finally, hang on. This was us on the private jet on the way to the wedding. He's looking a little pensive because this was right before. We didn't know what was going to go on with our relationship at that point. So, a little rough, this one I snapped with my phone.
Were you riding him like Seabiscuit?
Riding him like Seabiscuit?
I was riding him like Seabiscuit, honestly. I know.
Oh my God.
I know. And then finally, I'm going to cover the goods here so someone doesn't.
Don't cover it.
Okay. So this one, he's just hanging out, weighing out.
Literally
and
hanging.
Look at that.
Literally hanging out. And so, yeah. So that's my Maxim photo album. So, yeah. What about you, Babs?
Well, there's no competing with that, so we might as well just go to
cut.
Insane. Okay, so my Maxim, I had a couple different choices, but the one that came to me first was Ian Somerhalder. It was just this glare, this look. I mean, he's got it. He's got that alpha look. Like, anyway. So, I mean, clearly not as exciting. So.
I didn't know we had to bring like a whole freaking photo album. Like, I'll be prepared next time.
That was hilarious.
I forgot you guys, photo album.
You love my Max so much that I thought you'd want me to share some of my personal pictures of him and I. So that's all. Okay.
Just be nice.
Now, kiss, marry, do. This is getting harder.
Yeah.
It's going to be a throwdown.
There's too many.
Faith?
Okay.
Who
I
are you kissing, marrying, doing?
I'm doing the Russian faux show. I'm doing him. Sorry. I'm marrying Christian because he's an equally incredible lay. And I mean, come on. And I guess I'll settle for kissing the extremely talented Casey. That's where I'm going today. That's me. What about you, Babs?
All right, I changed this up just a wee bit. Okay, so I'm going to do Archer because he deserves to be done and done right. I'm going to do dirty sex with Alec. There's that one. And then I'm going to marry Maxim. I ain't kissing nobody. There's too much to be done. The kissing's just, it's out of the question. So I'm marrying Maxim. I mean, but we're already married, so we'll just have our vow renewal.
This was easy peasy for me. I'm going to kiss Maxim. I'm going to blow Maxim. I'm going to do Maxim. I'm going to marry Maxim. I'm going to have his children Maxim. Because you know why? I am the original cat, bitches. Go right ahead, Elle.
Okay. Let's do this.
Let's do this.
Okay, so I am going to marry Maxim because who doesn't want that shit on the regular? I definitely want that on the regular. I'm going to do Mateo. That was before I met Maxim, so that's okay. And I decided I wanted to kiss Archer because I just really need some type of like sweet, wholesome, loving Archer in my life. So I want to be able to at least say that I kissed Archer. So you bitches got it twisted. Maxim is mine, and you can fully expect I'm getting the last word. And you can fully, oh yeah, darn it.
We need a new editor.
We do.
You guys will look great in our bridesmaids colors. You're going to wear this lovely ivory.
You know what? We'll probably read book 3 and then we'll be like, Dimitri,
You can have him.
Okay, so before I sign off, I just want to say thank you for watching this very colorful episode, and remind you to head over to the Book Boyfriend podcast, and you can subscribe to our YouTube channel and or iTunes, depending on which you prefer, whether you like to listen or watch. You can check us out on Facebook and Twitter, and hit us up anytime if you know a good book boyfriend that you think we'd like. We love hearing suggestions, but we're not a blog, so if you're an author, don't call us, we'll call you.
Have your people call our people.
No, I don't mean it's just like we're not reviewing books. It's just like it's normally more of an organic process. Like I read The Master and I PM'd Liv and said, "Oh my God, Livy, you're gonna love this book. You have to read it." And so it just became the book that we're doing. So it's not a pitch to us, and we're gonna read your book. So, anyways, until next time. If you like the podcast, we'd love it if you review us on iTunes, because that's always helps us get noticed. And until next time, who knows what book boyfriend we're going to talk to next. Bye, everybody.
Good night.
Bye. I gotta go see Maxim. He's mine. Hashtag you wish.
Seriously though, this ass, like
hashtag you're Amish. Oh, that ass
like,
though. Hashtag I'm okay with it.
Hashtag
I already have enough problems.
Yeah,
God, that better be cut out. Edit. That's all I need. My mom watching this and finding that out.
She's gonna find out a lot more than that.
I know.
That was the best.
That was
podcast
hilarious
ever.
Thanks for joining us. You can find out who will be on upcoming shows and what books we'll be discussing, as well as more about our hosts at www.bookboyfriendpodcast.com. See you next time when we add another boyfriend to the ranks.